So I've been thinking about this idea of how I relate to people, and because people having connections is very important to me, and um, it's kind of what I want to devote my life to. Um, and I recently noticed a thing that I do that um, I didn't notice before exactly. That like when I'm with somebody, I match their energy, like I match where they're at. And then from there, ideally, there would be some point of connection. There would be an understanding, a feeling what they're feeling, a conversation, maybe ideas are popping up. Um, and I remember, like, even in high school, I used to enjoy this, what I used to call like riding someone else's ride. So, like, whatever they were about, like, I would become about. I would see what it's like to be them. I would experience what it's like to be them. Like, if they wanted to be into motorcycles, like I would ride their ride and I would like do the motorcycle thing, or if they were into some like TV show or whatever, or some culture or subculture, I would, because it felt exciting to me. It felt adventurous and it felt helpful. It felt like this is a thing that's really a part of them, so I could share this with them and I can grow. Um, but then somewhere along the line, I was like, okay, where am I losing myself? Am I bringing enough of myself into this, and am I saying yes to things that um, maybe there are other options? Like, am I just saying yes to anything that comes through? Um, and I guess I don't know, when I feel like when I put my agenda on it, things don't really go very well. um, and then if I seem to like flow better if I ride their ride. But is that like a thing where I'm just like sacrificing the things I have to offer and the things I have to say? Maybe, but maybe not. Um, yeah, and then recently I've realized that sometimes I don't want to feel what they're feeling. So what do I do? Um, do I ride the emotional sadness? Do I ride um, the like dramatic emotions that might be all over the place? Because I can do that. Um, but I'm like, is that the best use of my energy? And does that mean like I'm always submitting to their energy? And I don't know if that's always the best thing. Um, yeah, and I think it's like, I guess I'm just worried that it's like, when will I be heard um, if I do that? I mean, I used to very deliberately do this thing of riding other people's rides, and I think I haven't done it as intensely as I used to, but I definitely emotionally ride people's rides. Like, if I just meet a stranger at a party, like I tap in with them. I like get to their level, wherever they're at, um, and I guess I see it as a potential gift. I feel like I can talk to anybody. Like, I don't care where you're from. Like, I can make it work. I don't care if you don't speak English. Like, I feel, I don't care if you're a kid. I don't care. Like, I feel like I could talk to anybody, and I could have a connection with them. Um, but lately I've been feeling like, not really knowing how to use this as a gift necessarily, um, and also just wondering if I'm like sacrificing something, um, and maybe in a way, like maybe the other person might be missing out because I'm not expressing some things. Like, if I'm always riding their ride, like at what point does somebody ride my ride? I don't know. Um, and maybe that's the more vulnerable thing. Like, maybe that's um, maybe I'm protecting myself by riding somebody else's ride. Like, I don't have to put myself out there. I don't have to take risks. I don't have to let somebody into my world and potentially face the rejection of them not liking what they see, or not finding it interesting, or there being a bond and then them leaving, or so then yeah, I've been trying a different plan, um, but I'm not sure that has been working. Um, And I guess ideally there would be a certain resonance. I guess ideally you would connect, and then there would be a dynamic between both. There would be like a resonance. Um, but I guess I don't really know how to like coax that into being. So I guess I still need to do some more, some more research with it, some more experiencing it. And maybe I can even be deliberate about it. Like I can ask somebody to like try this out with me, like just connecting and then doing a thing where I am imagining I'm riding their ride. And then how would it feel different if we switched the power dynamic? And I think that would be like some good research to do. Because I've been having a lot of questions about that. Just for my own personal development and understanding, and also just in terms of like helping people and and having people feel supported and in like the work that I want to do. I guess I see the only way of knowing is to just kind of try it out. Because I know that like when I guess ideally I would be able to do all of it. I would develop a sense of range so that I'm not like just relying on like my backhand, like I'm not relying on like my wheelhouse. Like I have more range. And then just see. So maybe a moment will call for me to ride someone's ride. And maybe a moment would call for me to lead people into my world. And then ultimately learning the difference, learning when to use what tool, kind of a thing. Because I definitely do feel like there is an element of sort of safety in not offering myself. Like I remember I used to go to parties and I used to feel so much comfort in the fact that like I could just keep asking them questions about their self and I would never have to talk about myself because it felt very vulnerable to talk about myself. And I guess I assumed that they would love talking about themselves, but I did not know if they would like talking about me or if they would even find me interesting. So I remember like parties that I would go to, and people loved when I would ask about them. I think a lot of people, nobody ever is that curious, and nobody ever puts that much attention on them, and nobody can stop thinking of themselves long enough to put attention on them. But I think like in those instances, they loved that someone was asking about them, but it was almost like an internal meditation. Like they didn't really develop a connection to me. It's like they didn't remember me. They didn't, and a lot of them I didn't really end up seeing. And even if I established that as the point of connection, me being curious about their life, I don't know that it ever really flipped. I don't know that they like. I mean, maybe those were just a few experiences, and maybe it would be different now. But I remember a few instances where I guess I thought at some point they would want to know about my life, and a lot of times they don't. So maybe I'm just attracting people, like by doing that, I'm only attracting people that like want to talk about themselves and don't want to ask about me. But again, maybe those are just a few cases, and maybe it would be different. And then also, it's also possible that I'm sort of, I guess, blocking them in some way, like subconsciously blocking them in some way from. So maybe they ask me, "Oh, how about you?" And I'm just like, I defer the question, and then I keep going back to them. I think I do that, actually. Like, there probably are instances where people have said, okay, enough about me, how about you? And I think I still am more comfortable bringing it back to them in a lot of instances because I don't trust that they care. And I just feel like maybe they don't. And yeah, lately I feel like I've been trying to be more assertive about talking to people that I want to talk to. And I don't know, like, I don't know that it's working. I tend to do better when people approach me because then they're interested, and I can always be interested. I mean, give me a topic, I'll talk about it. So that tends to be the dynamic that works better. And even in like online dating and things like that, like I find people that I find fascinating. I message them. Rarely do they get back to me. And then the only time I've ever had success is when somebody reaches out to me. So then I'm like, okay, maybe I need to put myself out there and let them come to me. So yeah, it's all very confusing. But I am trying to it's like I feel like I'm trying to find answers, but maybe I shouldn't be trying so hard. I don't know. Anyway, I'm out of time. Okay, bye.